Welcome back to another episode of Project PHARAOH. We're gonna get a little deep today. I know the last video was like pretty light. Today I'm gonna get a little more personal. Today's topic is going to be about overcoming hard times or overcoming adversity. I'm gonna tell a little bit about my personal story that I had to go through that is very congruent with today's topic. So with that being said, let's build. FYI, I'm a pretty private person. I don't really tell a lot of personal things to a lot of people. So this is like a huge thing for me. I'm stepping outside of my comfort zone, but I know that's where I gotta be at if I wanna grow. So before we get in today's video, I smell so good, man. Hey, Scentbird. Yo, this is a lifesaver. This is like not even anything to do with the video. This one's called Fuck Mondays. No lie, that's what it's really called. It smells great. Anyways, before I get into the video, I want to talk about something that just happened a couple days ago. Episode 3 was my most viewed video that I have had. And so when I dropped episode 4, I had realized I forgot the watermark on the video, which is that little logo that's like right there. I forgot to add that in, so I went to delete episode 4. I accidentally deleted episode 3. I saw my views and likes and whatever. I re-uploaded it. I didn't really share it like I did the other ones because I was so angry, but you know, I'm over it now. I'm gonna share this video though. Episode 5, overcoming adversity. Also, I had problems with my cell phone as well. When I plugged it in, like I smelled something like something was on fire, so I pulled it out, like smoke came out, and my whole like charging port was like burnt. But my phone wasn't charging, I wasn't able to get a hold of anybody. It was all bad, you know, but hey, you know what? I stayed pretty positive about the whole situation. You know, I mean, I got through it, figured it out. That was just a couple bad things that happened this week, but you know, I'm still happy, still positive, still grateful, and I'm gonna keep on pushing this material. So I think the proper title for the story is Losing Everything to Get It All. And I'm gonna tell you a story about what happened in 2018, like pretty much all of 2018 or half of 2018 and all of 2019, except for the last 3 weeks of the year. I lost everything just to get it all. So short story, back in June of 2018, I fell from about 20 feet. I shattered both heel bones, broke one ankle, my right ankle, fractured the left one. I was in a wheelchair for a few months. And I never broke a bone before my whole life. I played sports, martial artist. I was in the Marines. You know, I did a lot of like rough stuff, you know, things that could have broke my bones and I never did. So the first time I broke something, it was like, I'm gonna hit you with the 3-piece and I'm gonna leave you with a fracture too, thanks. But from that loss, I lost my job, I lost my family, I lost my relationship, I lost my car, I lost my home. Had to move to Watts. I'm a very independent person. I like doing what I wanna do, when I wanna do it, how I wanna do it, by any means necessary. And so I lived on the 2nd floor and there was no elevator in my apartments at the time. So I'll have to sit on top of the steps and I'll have to wait for somebody to be leaving their apartment and be like, hey, can you help me downstairs? Carry my wheelchair downstairs, and I'd be like going down on my ass cheeks. I mean, talk about ego was shattered, humbled to the highest of possible levels of being humbled. It was a bad experience, just being an independent person to being dependent upon somebody who can take advantage of that and, you know, at any time leave you high and dry. I was in a very, very vulnerable, weak-minded position. But in that whole time, like, it's crazy because now that I have gotten past it, like, I realized how important it was for me to go through that, because that whole situation is why I am where I am right now. I realized, like, if you want peace, you gotta go through chaos first. That whole time I was in the wheelchair, I really wrote out everything that I wanted to do in my life. Where I wanted to go to school, what I wanted to learn how to do, what professions I wanted, the equipment I wanted to record music, which I have in my house right now. I got a whole studio, all the programs to make music and to record myself. I have that stuff, but I wrote all that shit down. The camera, all this stuff that I have right now, the microphone, the mic stand, the light, I had all this written down. I did it when I was in a wheelchair in 2018. I wasn't supposed to walk until February of last year, but I walked 4 months earlier than they said I was supposed to. And they were tripping. They were like, man, like, we never seen nobody's bones heal up this quick. Hard times don't last, tough people do. And that's a fact. Because I was in the middle of, like, the lowest level I can be at. I was in an environment that was, like, very low energy. I wasn't strong. I felt vulnerable, I felt weak. It was tough for me. I'm an extroverted introvert. So, like, on the outside, I looked like everything was cool, but on the inside, I was done. And there was a few people I opened up to who then in turn used that against me and kind of poked at areas that were very sensitive. And I'm like, you know, it caused me to kind of separate myself from a lot of things and a lot of people for the better, because I knew what I needed to do and what I needed to surround myself around in order to get out of that situation. Just because it wasn't there in the present didn't mean that it couldn't come, and I knew where I was headed. I just didn't know how I was gonna go about it. And so all of 2019, I was going to school up in Hollywood, in and out of a relationship until I got kicked to the curb for the last time, and then I kind of had to build myself up independently. Although at that time I was still some sort of way depending on someone, but I knew I needed to get to the complete independence, and I got to that at the end of the year. You know, I went from a tiny ass room in Watts to now I got a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment for my kids. You know what I mean? They got their own space and all that, and it's, you know, it's good. It's in a nice, quiet neighborhood. It's very peaceful. I'm surrounded by, you know, a lot of nature, people growing fruits and vegetables, and they, you know, I got the farmers market right down the street, the library, downtown Fulton right here, you know what I'm saying? We going up. My boys come. It's like the positive hub, man. I love having people over my house because, you know, it's quiet, it's clean. They can, you know, I got things to do here. We can just chill and we always have a good time. And it's crazy how, like, I went from that low ass position to this high place of living and high standard of living, from like the lowest you can be in a wheelchair with no job, no car, barely any income. You lost your family, you lost your relationship. I mean, I lived back and forth in LA, but, you know, that area was like, it wasn't the best part of LA I lived in. And so, but I was still grateful for that. I still had a home, I still had a roof over my head, I had a place I could bring my kids. You know, I'm very grateful for the person who let me, you know, stay with them. And, you know, for every situation that happened, the good and the bad, I'm very grateful because I learned from my own lessons. A wise man learns from others' lessons. A fool learns from his own. And so I was wise and a fool in certain times in my life, and I needed to be a wise man and a fool in those times because it got me to where I'm at now. And so now, obviously, I'm a lot older, I'm a little more experienced, and I'm still young as a mug too, you know, so I'm out here like just trying to live my best life at the most mature way of thinking that I can. That probably didn't make any sense, but y'all feel what I'm saying. So wherever you are in your life right now, you know, you could be at the very bottom where I was at. You can be even lower than that. You can be higher than I am now. You can be in the middle. Wherever you're at in life, you can get to where you want to get. Like, you just have to be mentally strong. Have courage, have heart, have faith. Like, you don't have to be super religious, but just have faith in yourself. You deserve better than you have now. Everything is not for everybody. You know, you may have a different path to get to the same position in life that I got to, but it may take you a lot less time. It might take you a lot more time. Once you realize that about yourself, you can start putting in the work. You gotta acknowledge the problem to fix it. Well, now to get to that life, now you gotta acknowledge the life that you want to live, and then you gotta put down a plan on how to get there. Like, look, I'm blessed, and I'm so grateful for the 100+ views that I got on my other videos. But I know that that's not nothing, but it's something to me. It's everything to me. Like, I know, like, me being grateful for those 100+ videos, views on my videos, is going to bring thousands plus more views to the same video because I'm showing gratitude for what I have at that moment. It's not where I want to end up, but it's where I'm at, and I'm grateful for being where I'm at. And don't forget, like, this overnight success, or like, oh, you didn't get the 1,000 views in the first week, like, that means nothing. Time is an illusion, you know. The tortoise wins the race. You know, the perception that people have is that, oh, the hair is trying to destroy this fool. And the hair does at first. What happens? The hair gets tired out. Why? Because he exerted all that energy just to get ahead. But he didn't expend his energy in the right way to last the whole race. And the tortoise just kept that consistent pace. Consistency is the key, and it's gonna get you to the finish line. So don't try to rush greatness. Like, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. It's all facts. So I never really got into, like I said, I'm Featherstone the Pharaoh in the first video, kind of talking about myself. I kind of just stopped right there. I'm from Southern California. You know, I was born in San Diego County, but I lived in LA, I lived in Orange County, I lived in Virginia, I lived in Japan, lived in North Carolina. But most of my life is in Southern California. I'm 30 years old. I'm a father of 2 boys, Jaden and Jariah. They're my everything. I do martial arts. Right now I'm currently really been focusing more on like boxing and kickboxing, but I can't wait to go back to my dojo. I'm in school right now for psychology. I'm an artist as well. Every beat that you hear on this channel, from the intro to every beat that you hear, I created. Those are all my beats. Everybody's like, man, where'd you get those beats from? They're pretty fire. I'm like, yeah, I made them. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I mean, I really did, but I mean, I know they fire, yo. You know. So yeah, guys, tortoise wins the race. Overcoming adversity starts up here. You gotta take the steps in the direction that is the most uncomfortable to get to the place that's more comfortable. Like, look at it like this. What life really means is like a woman giving birth. Like, one of the most beautiful experiences that can happen in a woman's life is giving birth to a child. But it's also one of the most painful experiences that a woman feels. Through that one situation, you got a woman going through the highest level of pain that she's ever experienced, and then minutes later, seconds later, experiencing the highest level of love that she's ever had for anything in her whole life. And that's what life is like. So that's what the adversity is. All your struggles that you're going through right now, you know, friends who aren't really the friends that they present themselves to be, relationships that are toxic, that aren't really good for you, you know, a job that's not really allowing you to grow in life, living in an area that's not really comfortable or safe. Those are all things that you can overcome, and you can get through them Because like I said, hard times don't last, tough people do. So once again, this is Featherstone to PHARAOH, another episode of Project PHARAOH. Thank you all. Please like and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one. PHARAOH out.